Alrighty, today is the first of the year, 2026. Hang on a minute. There we go. I took my ornaments off my tree, but what I did was I had nothing to store my tree in, so for like not even $10 off of Amazon, I ordered a tree storage bag. And I could put my ornaments in there with it because it's for a tree up to 7.5 feet. But of course that tree is not that tall, so there's going to be room in the bag, and I could put my, ornaments in there. So I ordered that today, and let's see what else is going on. Yeah, the electric went out last night for about 4 or 5 hours. And when the electric did go out, of course, my roommate started trouble. Oh, I thought that guy was stuck. My roommate started trouble, as he loves to do, and thought that the electric got shut off because of the bill not being paid. I put $225 on it like 3 days ago. So he calls me up and he's like, "Oh, did you forget to pay the electric bill?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "Well, the electric's off. I'm calling Mark," like he's going to start some crap again. So I'm coming home and discovered that all the lights were out, and here we had an outage. So of course I called the electric company to prove to him. This is the kind of stuff I have to put up with this stupid jerk. So I called the utility company, and I have them on speakerphone. I'm like, "Hey," I says, "is my electric shut off, or is there an outage?" She reassured me there was an outage. I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "Yeah, well, you had a disconnection notice." He's in the background running his mouth. He's got issues, man. He's got mommy issues, seriously. So I called the accounting service. It was like just before 6 o'clock when they were going to close. And I, says, "Hey," I says, "how much is my bill?" Because the one lady told me one balance, and she confirmed it was way, way less, and that there was an error in my billing. So she told me my new balance, which I figured was right on point with what I came up with. It's like $446, I think it is. So, $446 or $466. And so then, while I'm on the phone with them, stupid me, he's like, "Hey," he says, "give me the electric bill." And I'm on the phone with the electric company. He goes, takes a picture of the electric bill, sends it to my boys, trying to stir up trouble. They're texting me, blowing up my phone. "Why didn't you pay the electric bill?" And I says, I had to explain myself to my freaking boys. I says, "Look, you guys know that he wants to stir up trouble and get me out of here. I have told you guys, get rid of him. But you guys say because he pays his bills, you're not going to get rid of him." I says, "I paid the $225 on my bill 3 days ago." And they're like, "Well, you better call and find out." I says, "I already did call." So he loves to stir up trouble, and I'm sick of it now. So he went without we're without electric, and I'm not too cold. I'm fine. The house goes down to 61 degrees. He's cold upstairs. When I went to use the restroom, there was a candle in my bathroom on the sink, and he took it upstairs. I didn't say nothing about it. I had no problem. "Hey, you need light or whatever? Fine." I'm not like that. However, I says, "Hey," I says, "how did you light the light? How did you light the candles? Because I have nothing to light candles with. That's why I haven't been able to light mine. I used to have the long stick, but I may have thrown it out if it was empty. I don't know." So what happened was he's like, "I lit it with a lighter." He says, "You need to use it?" I'm like, "Yeah." So he comes downstairs. Well, I'm looking for the candle. And he's like, oh, you ain't ready yet? Oh, well, just, you need to be prepared. So just let me know when you're ready. So I find the candle. And I go upstairs and I'm like, all right, I'm ready, He's like, oh, no, you're going to have to wait now. I says, what? He goes, well, you're on my time. I says, dude, you see this candle here you've got? That's mine. You want to go there? You ain't going to have nothing. You're going to freeze your butt off. Don't play these stupid games with me. So he lights it up. Today, I got up at 9 o'clock. And I have a slow morning. I just, go at my own pace. I'll get my tea, I'll chill, I'll do little things around the house if dishes need wash or whatever. It'll take me at least 2 to 3 hours before I'm ready to go. If not, like 2 to 3 hours. It's just because I have to take my one medication and then I have to wait 40 minutes before I could take the rest of my medication. So I don't leave unless once in a blue moon I'll take it with me. But I know I wanted to work on a couple of things at the house, and I plan on going out, which I'm out now. He comes downstairs. It's like almost noon. I got my coat on, getting ready to go. And he comes down. He's like, you ain't ready to leave yet? You're an effing piece of, POS, and you're lazy. And he's just, dogging me. I'm like, no, just shut up. Go take your dog out so you can get back in and I can leave. He comes back in and he starts running his mouth again. He's like, yeah, you're nothing but a lazy piece of shit, I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to tell you something. I said, you're going to keep it up and someone's going to smack you upside your mouth. I said that to him last night too because he said something else to me. Just disrespectful. And, my kids, like, my son Matt will, like, when he sees that he's disrespecting me, he'll tell him to back off. My son Mark won't. My son Mark needs to get on his ass too. And I told Mark last night, he's like, what do you expect me to do? I says, look, he's like, you guys need to calm down and work it out. I says, look, Mark, you guys brought him in here. I didn't want him moving in here with me. I have told you guys over and over again, he's going to be trouble. And sure enough, he says, well, what do you want me to do? I says, fire him, kick him out, get rid of him. He's like, no. I'm like, Mark, why are you keeping him here? And he's like, oh, because he pays his bill. I says, oh, so that's what he has one up on with me. So I'm going to hustle this year to pay these bills and get him out of here. That is my goal for 2026. Get my bills paid, raise my income a lot, building up my YouTube and working on my Shopify because he's got to go. He's got to go. And I'm not going to stay in that house forever, but I'm not going to be the one leaving first. He's got to go. So that's what I put up with. He's, very disrespectful, like I've said. And that's how my new year's starting. So, you guys, I will be back on here with a different video because this is just going to be one whole separate video anyway. But you guys have a good new year, and I will be back on here shortly.